Hello! Thank you so much that you take the time to watch this little tutorial. My name is Patrick and I want to show you how to get started with Notix. And I hope you have already created your account and downloaded the extension. The first thing you need to do is to go on Notix.so and log in. And you can see when you are in here that you have not connected a workspace yet. This is what we want to do right now. So click here on Add Connection. And then you can choose the workspace that you want to use. I have a example workspace created. And then you're just going to click on Select Page. You can determine which database you want to use to save web pages. I just gonna select all of them, and then we click on Allow Access. All right, now we have everything connected, and let's go to a example page, and let's imagine we want to save a recipe into our Notion database, and we're just gonna open our extension here that I have already pinned here as an extension. You can do this as well. You should probably, if you want to use Notix simple and easy without wasting much time. So you click just here, and as you can see, we have the workspace already there. And we will have two options really, and that is save this web page without a template and with a template. I will show you first how to do it without a template, so we can just get started without any hassle. We are just going to select the database that we want to use. So we have like a whole list from our workspace, and since we are saving a recipe, I use a database that I have created for this purpose. So we click on recipes. So what you see are all the properties that I already created in the Notion database. So we have a property for summary, for URL, for tags, and of course the title. So we can just write a title, whatever I want, and also the summary. So you can type in whatever you want, and it will be saved to Notion. And since we have a tags area, this is also already from Notion. This is the tags. I can then choose them here, and that's how it's going to go into Notion as well. This is basically the field for the Notion page. So whatever I write here, this is my recipe, will also appear in the Notion page. And the cool thing is it works with Markdown. That's something that comes in pretty handy. So I can write, I would do it in Notion as well, with headlines and so forth, and write copy. And this is pretty cool. And what makes Notix very special are the features that we have here next to the save button. And I'm going to show you what they can do. The first thing is you can make a screenshot. So I can click on this icon here, and now I can just drag anything that I want, and it will create a screenshot here, and it will appear directly in here within the Notion page. And so that's pretty cool. Whatever I want to capture, I can just go into here directly. It can also be text, whatever I want. Another thing we can do is to record the whole screen. So we click on this camera icon here, and then choose the page that we want to record on. In our case, that's this one. We share and click on allow. And now we are recording this thing here, the whole screen, the whole browser. Just in case I want to show something, this is pretty cool for bug reports. If you're a developer and you want to show something on the screen that is happening right now, and it's better to show a whole video instead of just screenshots. Here I can end the video. Now after a moment it will appear here as well. So that's basically it. You can just then click on save whenever you're done with your entry, Let's do that right now. All right, so this is the Notion database, a part of it, and we can see our web page has been saved. It's part of the database already, and we can check it out here. And oh yeah, the cool thing I didn't mention yet is that if this website, the page has a thumbnail, an image, then we will use it automatically as a title for Notion. The rest is also here. We have the screenshot, the titles, the headlines that we created, and also the video that we recorded in the beginning. All right, let's go back to our extension. So it's pretty easy to just save a web page into Notion, but if you want to save a little bit more time, we can use templates. It takes a few moments to set it up, but after that you will save a lot of hassle when you want to save a page. I'm going to show you what I mean. So we're just going to click on Add New Template. We are selecting the database that we want, and then we see this here where we can determine how our template should look like every time we open it. So what you can see here is that I can determine what will be what I want to pre-fill for each property. For the title here, I can determine what should be predefined or pre-filled in here. Should it be empty? That means, like before, I just write it myself, or do I want to use a predefined value? So I just write something here that will always appear as a title, or the URL doesn't make any sense at this point. We will use it here for the URL property, but we can also use a page title. So this is what I like to use for a title. Similar to the thumbnail, it just pulls from the title name, and then we don't have to write a page title for ourselves. And for the summary, that's when it gets really interesting. We can either leave it empty and you write it yourself like you did before in the other example, or we use one of the nice features that we have with Notix, and that is use AI to write the summary. To use the AI, you need to connect the OpenAI API, which you can do in the settings of Notix. You just copy paste the API from the OpenAI website that you created for this purpose, and then you paste it into the Notix settings. And then you're good to go. You can create a prompt here or leave the prompt that we created here. So if you have used ChatGPT before, here you're just writing a prompt to tell the AI what exactly you expect it to write. And just like that, we have a summary automatically written. We have the page title already filled in, and the URL, it's already in here. We can choose that it pulls the URL. So that is also already done. And the text in this case we will do manually because it depends on what kind of content we want to save. So now all that is left is the Notion page itself, where we can create blocks as well that will help us to pre-structure our content. So let's click here on block, and here I can determine what kind of block I want to have here. We have different choices, but for now we want to start with text, and in our case we just want to have a headline. So we use Markdown to create a headline and another block. This is an example text. And what I really love is that if you often work with screenshots, then you can determine where the screenshot will appear within the page. So I could say, look at this screenshot, and every time I make a screenshot, it will always appear after this text. so I don't have to say the same things again and again. If there's a certain structure to the page, to our database, then we can determine this here, and we save a lot of time. And you can also use AI. Again, adding a prompt here, summarize the text in this case, and let's save it for now. So now we click on the template that we just created, and you can see the AI works. And boop, here we have the text that the AI created for us. The URL is here. The title he already pulled from the website, and the image from the thumbnail. So that's basically how we use templates. I hope this helps you to get started. If you have questions, never hesitate to write us an email. We are super happy to help you and improve our app as well. So let's get started and have fun exploring.